Hello, welcome back to my kitchen. It's me, Amber. I'm back. If you're new here, hit the like, subscribe, notification button so you can be notified when I post something. So tonight I'm doing something simple, quick, and easy. I'm so in love with beef and potatoes, and I'm gonna make it in a burrito with some homemade salsa, some cheese, and some sour cream. Something simple, because I'm always doing like 5-star dinners. And I'm starting to gain a little weight, y'all. So, we're going to have to fast sometime next month. We're going to do some juicing or some fruit bowls or something, y'all, because we eating good in the neighborhood and it's starting to show. Also, why I'm thinking you can do this with, you can make the ground beef and make a gravy base and make mashed potatoes, and you can have gravy beef and mashed potatoes, and that's a real filler as well. I'm not gonna do that, but I thought about that because that always hits the spot. We love good home cooked meals around here. When my little baby be eating 5-star dinners, I'm like, girl, let's calm down on the crab. Let's calm down. We're gonna calm down a little bit, y'all. It's starting to catch up. You know, when you get older, that weight, it come on easier. So, I'll show you what we're gonna start with. And we're gonna wash our hands first. Man, they be on me. I had to put a disclaimer. I'm like, I'm not gonna fight with everybody. You ain't eating my food, but I do know that washing your hands is what you're supposed to do when you cook in the kitchen. When you come into the kitchen, you wash your hands, period. I'm just saying. So we're gonna start with the potatoes, okay? I really hope everyone is having a prosperous month, week, day, and half a year. So I'm stickler about my potatoes, and I want them to cook even. Hold on, guys, somebody's calling. Okay, so after you cut all the potatoes, they should look like this in a cube form. You want to wash them. I washed them before I cut them, but you want to wash them again. Because you know how sometimes potatoes can be real gritty, and we don't want none of that. Okay, and then you're gonna put them in a bowl. And you're gonna cover them with water so they don't turn colors while you're cooking your meat. Because after you're done cooking your meat, you're gonna cook your potatoes. You're not gonna do it first because the meat is gonna cook quicker and the potatoes take a little bit longer. Okay. And then, if you would like your potatoes to be seasoned, without having to season them after you cook them, this is what you do. You take seasoning salt, lotteries, any type of seasoning salt. And all you need is the seasoning salt, nothing else. And you dump it in the water. And it's gonna flavor your potatoes. I didn't have no more, but I have another one. So give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm out of seasoning salt, which is perfectly fine. What I'm gonna do, you see these? I'm gonna put them in the water. Because what it's gonna do is gonna make the potatoes not salty, but they'll have seasoning in them. with the water. Okay, so now I got salt in here. I usually use sea salt. I'm sorry, seasoning salt, and it turns the water kind of pinkish, and that means your potatoes will be seasoning when you pull them out. This is the best hack ever. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of Tony's to the water too, because I don't have my seasoning salt. So I put salt and I put this. Okay, and don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay. All right, now we let them sit. We let them sit, and we're gonna cook our beef. Okay, so now I put 2 pounds of hamburger meat, like 1.5 pounds, okay? Hold on. Technical difficulties. My thing broke, which is perfectly fine. We got a ton more. Okay, so and you can do it with turkey meat if you want to. I normally use turkey meat, but I really was craving, like, this is something from my childhood. Like when I was growing up, my mom would make for me, or I would get in the kitchen and make myself. I literally have been cooking in the kitchen since I was 8 years old, and I will be 41 on the 15th of July. So my birthday is definitely coming up. I'm gonna do a celebration on YouTube with my little family, and aren't we so happy? I hit 1K, you guys. Oh my God, I hit 1K. I hit 1K. I don't want to touch my hair. I hit 1K. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now you want to do your seasoning. We're going to do some paprika. You don't need a lot of paprika. It just doesn't come out like I need it to. Okay, so my garlic's on, it looks like, but it's okay because I got another one. So I use powders to cook with, because when you're cooking for kids, they don't like chunks of vegetables. So that was garlic powder, onion powder, and don't be stingy. Don't be stingy. Do not be scared. Okay. All right. And then this is pepper. I gotta fill it up, but it wasn't much in there. We're not gonna use it all, but we're gonna use the majority of what's left. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna add some beef bouillon. Tomato. That was a little bit that I had in there. Okay, beef bouillon. Some people like to use adobo. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but some of that nature. And I just used the half of one. And I like my ground beef fine. I don't like it in big chunks. Okay, so this is what the hamburger meat should look like. And you always want to strain your meat. You always want to do that. Okay, I'll let y'all see the hamburger meat cook for a little while. Okay, and now we're gonna strain it, okay? Okay, now you return it back to the pan and you refry it. And get the rest of a little bit of juice out. Now, you hear how it's frying versus how it sounded a little while ago? Okay, so now you do your seasonings all over again. Okay? Paprika. Pepper. Because now your seasonings are going to stick to the hamburger meat way better than when you cook it. Trust the process. We got like 4 peppercorns in there. We're gonna get them out though. Okay, we got one more. Okay. There we go. Okay, so this is pepper. Okay, now that's all we need. Onion powder. All right. because you're not going to have to season your fries. So hear me out. You want your meat to be seasoned well. Okay. And now we're going to use the rest of the bouillon. And then we're going to add a little bit of water, not much. Okay. And if you use salt, you shouldn't need much because of the bouillon. Okay. So now we're going to put a little bit of salt. That's it. Now we're going to put a little bit of water. Just to make sure all the seasoning get dispersed evenly throughout the meat. And let me know in the comments below if you would make this for your family. I guess it would be considered a poor man's dish, but I'm not poor, and I love this dish. And kids love it too, especially when they're like 3 and 4-year-olds. Oh yeah. Take their little burrito apart and tear it up. Okay, now we try it, make sure it's good. It's perfect. Okay. Now the meat is done. So now we move the meat off. There's no grease in here or nothing. We got rid of the grease. If you don't drain your hamburger meat, I don't want it. Okay, so now all the meat's out. What you can do is take a napkin and wipe it down, but I really don't care because I just cooked in it. And I'm gonna take a little bit of olive oil, not much. This on 3, just that much. And now I'm gonna drain the potatoes. Get out of the kitchen. Go sit down. My little dog be smelling all the good stuff, okay? And now you're gonna put in your potatoes. Okay? Now, you need a little bit of garlic. Sorry, I ran out of my onion. So garlic first. I use powder. paprika for the color. Pepper, of course. I know it looks like I'm putting a lot of pepper, but I'm not. Trust me. See, there's not a bunch in there. A little bit of this, which is the thyme, and a dash of salt. Not much. And then you want to give it a good stir so all the oil and the seasoning will go all over the potatoes. And now you hear the water cooking out of it. We're going to add a little bit more. Not much. And then you want to stir it one more time to make sure all the oil is all over it. Because once the water leaves, the oil is going to start cooking it. Ooh. I got crazy with that stir. My stove is clean, so I'm putting my potatoes right back in my pot. Okay, so now we don't touch them. We don't touch them at all. We're gonna let them cook. And they're on 3. I have them on 3. See, the hamburger meat looks amazing. And because I season the meat real good, I barely season the potatoes. And it'll match. It'll match up. And then now you want to pick up all your seasonings and put them back away. I got some empty ones I need to throw away. That was just onion. I don't want to save it. And what I'm going to do with this mixture is I'm going to make burritos with it, but you guys will see. And I forgot, in the meat, put a little bit of the secret sauce. Put a little bit of wash your ass sauce. Don't forget to put a lid on it. Okay, now they're starting to brown. And the reason why you want to put a lid on it is because you want them to get soft, but why not stir it is so they can kind of get browned as well. So I'm gonna lift it up like that so we can do both. Okay, now the reason why you don't want to stir them a bunch is because they'll turn into mashed potatoes, and we want to keep them as cubes. Okay, so now while all this is going down, I'm cleaning my kitchen as well, so then I don't have nothing to do when I'm done cooking. I can just call it a night because it's too late for us to eat, but at least when we're ready to eat, the food will already be made. Okay. And we don't want them to burn, so we go from the bottom to the top, dump it. Okay. As long as they're not sticking and they're all turning brown, we're doing good. Now we're going to leave the lid off so they can start to cook evenly. Okay. While that's happening, I am doing dishes. Because if you clean as you go, you won't have to do it at the end of the day. And you know what? Let's talk. The fact, like, let's talk that it's 2025 and it's so unsafe to have unprotected sex, especially in Texas and I believe the Dominican Republic, the DR, either North Carolina or South Carolina. Like, when I tell you that the stats are so bad right now, like, nobody should be fornicating with anybody without a rubber, or do like I would do. If I got into a relationship with a male, I would literally be with him for a year and then he'd want to take the rubber off, and I would make us go sit down at a clinic and get tested before that part of the relationship can happen. Even if you're married, do stats every 6 months, because when I tell you the highest cheaters in the world are married men, who would have known? Like, I can remember when AIDS was a thing in the 90s. And then it got under control. No glove, no love was invented, and we all stuck to the gun. I literally only have 3 children because I don't want to continue to have children out of wedlock. Who wants to have children out of wedlock? So now we're all trying to have relations out of wedlock, and now people are going to die from it. Like, comment below where you are. Where's your location? Where's your city? I'm in Arizona, and I believe it was last summer, our STD stats were like at an all-time high. Gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia. It doesn't matter if we don't have the stats of the HIV here, it's on its way, because we have a ton of people moving here. So the best thing that you can do, all 50 states, even when you go out the country to hang out, like if you're out of this country, drop your country below. Let me know where you're chatting from or where you're watching from, because I'm so baffled. I never talk, but this, like, HIV is not to be played with, you guys. Please do your research. Please do your research, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, y'all. Do you guys cook and clean? Because I do. And if you don't, what is the technique that you do to make sure your house is clean after you're done cooking? Because I promise you, when you're cooking, you make the biggest messes. Well, not the biggest messes, but the most dishes. Ooh, that water hot. But the good thing about it is, we only had a couple of dishes to do. We are done. Let's take a look at the potatoes. They're cooking out how I like them. You see that? And they're coming out perfect. I like them kind of crunchy. So I'm gonna add a little bit more oil to it. Because now that the potato has cooked down, there's not much grease. But you don't want a lot. You just want that fry effect that it gives it. So now we let that sit for a little while. See, when you mix it, you gotta be careful because you will squish the potatoes, and that's why I go in it at an angle. Because if not, they'll end up not diced potatoes anymore. They'll be mashed. And we don't want that, y'all. Y'all are looking now? Perfect. They're not perfect yet, but they're getting there. Okay, now this is the good part. We take our ground beef and we add it to the pot. See how the potatoes are brown? That is what we are going for. They're trying to stick to the back of the spatula. We'll hop that up off of there. Let's stir it all around. Alright, our beef and potatoes are done. It don't matter if they're soft now because they're cooked. Everything's gonna go in a burrito. There we go. And that's my famous beef and potatoes. Comment down below if you would try this recipe. The next step, I'm gonna make a burrito for you. Okay, now we're gonna start with the burrito process. These are my favorite tortillas. I would recommend them, 10 out of a 10, recommend them. Okay, very authentic, and they're in the refrigerator area. And when you get them, you could do it in the package or not, but you wanna take them and you wanna squeeze them and go like this. So then they don't stick to each other, see? At first they were stuck together. And then if you want to do it in the package, you just go like that. And it'll tear them apart. This is a comal. I couldn't figure it out last time, but you need one of them. And you want to make sure it's hot. Before you do it, you want to make sure it's hot. Okay, now that it's super hot, you want to take your tortilla, you'll hear it sizzle. It's not hot enough for me. I'm going to get it a little bit more hot. Because you should be able to cook it in seconds. Okay, now it's hot enough. Hear it? It sizzles. And see how the little bubbles start coming? And sometimes I want it hotter than this. Okay. Now is perfect. Okay. That's one. See, you should be able to whip it that quick. I like to pop the bubbles with my nails. Okay. Okay. Now here we go. They're not super huge, so you don't want to make them too big. Okay. Okay. And I made homemade salsa. You could keep it for about maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3. Just like when you buy real salsa, however long you keep that is how long you want to keep this for too. Okay. We're gonna put a little bit more cheese in it, not much though. There we go. Okay. Now this one might be dumb fat, but it's okay. Okay, one down. One to go. That first one was fatty. She was a fairy. Yup, she was a fairy. No, I'm just kidding. I know this video took longer than normal, but it was worth it. And this salsa is a staple in Texas. This is how the Texas people make their salsa. I'm actually going to go back this way. Tuck it. And we're going to grab it. There we go. We're going to roll this one a little bit better because it was a fatty. And there we go. There we go. Dinner is served. Now, I'm gonna cover this. And whenever my daughter chooses to wake up, actually I got baggies. whenever my daughter chooses to wake up, her food will be good for her. Okay, and that's how you make beef and potato burritos. Thank you so much. Let me know if you'll try this recipe. Thank you so much. Don't mind me, I'm being comfortable in my house. Thank you so much for tuning in to me. I appreciate all of you guys. Hit the like, subscribe, notification button so you can be notified when I post another banger. Thank you guys. Welcome to my kitchen. Have a good night.